I forgot to bring a gorilla. What an amateur. Anyway, today I'm driving an Audi RS7, a tuned APR Stage 1 RS7, because, you know, the standard RS7's too slow, so you've got to tune it up. And these cars are basically big GT luxury cruisers with huge gobs of power. And the tune takes a powerful car and turns it into a really powerful car. I mean, this feels even more powerful than that tuned M3 that I was driving last week. It is a monster. And we're about to say goodbye to this series of RS7, because as you know, the new A7's in, then the new S7 comes in, and then finally we see the new RS7. There's been lots of photos of them going around the Nürburgring and so forth. But yeah, this previous generation of RS7, still a beautiful GT cruiser. Of course, the RS7 is based on the A7 platform, so it is a very large car, but the power sort of hides that. This thing just leaps away when you put your foot to the floor. You do feel that weight a little bit in the corners. There's no hiding the weight of this car, but at the same time, a heavy car like this feels very stable on the road. And of course, this car is supposed to be a bit of a mix of sport and luxury, which it very much is. You could drive this car all day long without feeling tired, and yet you put your foot down and it just swallows up the miles. So the claimed horsepower now with the APR tune is some 670 horsepower, which is an enormous amount of power, and it really makes this very large car leap away. It just picks up speed like nothing else. We'll do a little drag race with my car later on, and I am going to get my ass kicked by this big heavy beast. Aside from the enormous power, this car also enjoys the RS7 looks, and this particular one has gone to the dark side. It's black over black with black tints and black carbon fiber and black everything. It's dark, 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 which a lot of people love. And it kind of suits the personality of this vehicle. Personally, there's some things about the RS7 styling that I wasn't always 100% sure on. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the huge Audi grills anymore, but when I see it up close in person, this is a stunning looking car. And I always love Audi interiors. They do such a beautiful job. It always gets that lovely white and red Audi high contrast dashboard, which is so easy to use. And for a turbocharged car, it's got some great sound to it as well. As well as looks. I love the looks of the oval pipes of these RS7s. And of course, you can make it do the popping sounds as well. I'll pop it into manual here. And there we go. And as for the dash here, it's Audi's classic white and red high contrast dash, which I love. And it gives a bunch of information, including there's a little boost gauge there. And if I pop it over into manual mode, now I'll get a little line to show me when I need to be changing gears. And it is quite tricky once you've got your foot down. This car picks up speed so quickly. At first, it's quite hard to time the gears correctly. I'll show you. I'll drop it down a gear. So as I'm heading towards the red line, I get this little green line showing me that I need to change up soon. And then it flashes when I need to change. But boy, it's pretty tricky to time correctly. So I'll pull in here and we'll do a little quick drag race against my car. 670 horsepower versus 430 horsepower, manual versus automatic. There's no question this thing's going to kick my car's ass, but we'll see how much faster this is. Okay, you all set? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. I mean, it's a wasting, but I thought it would be worse. This thing is a monster. So as you can see, within a few seconds, this car was like 10 car lengths or more ahead of my car. It's to be expected with such a deficit of horsepower. As for negatives about this car, well, I think it's a lovely car. I think the biggest negative is probably the steering. It's a little vague, and you're really not feeling any feedback from the road. You You know, you wouldn't want to track this car, not only because of the steering, but because of the weight. But you have to keep in mind that the target group this car is aimed at is they probably don't want a lot of feel through the steering. They want a more comfortable, high-speed luxury cruiser. And you've got to keep that in mind. This is a performance luxury car as opposed to a luxury car. You get the sound dampening, you get the comfortable seats, you're cocooned in a large luxury car which just happens to have an enormously powerful engine. So we'll head back to my place and we'll have a quick look around the interior. Okay, let's have a look around the interior. Look, there's William. What are you doing back there, buddy? You know, Audi interiors are so nice, and RS interiors and S interiors in particular, they have the soft Napa leather. And the dashboards, as I said before, very nice. Let's start this car up, get the air conditioning going. A little screen pops out of the center there. I'll be interested to see whether with the new series they bring these screens right to the edge at long last. Starting on over here on the left, you can see the carbon fiber inserts for this model, very nice. And the standard Audi switchgear, which has been nice for a few generations now, with the silver on the outside and a nice solid click feel to it. Steering wheel, interestingly, this hasn't got the flat bottom steering wheel. It's a round steering wheel with the perforated leather. You know, steering is probably the weakest part of this car. It's a very light steering feel, and there's not a lot of feedback in it, but I guess that's because it's a luxury car. Also, I tend to prefer the soft fat wheels of the BMW M series, the RS wheels. I don't know, they're nice enough, but yeah, they could do with a little bit more padding on them. I really love the dash of the Audis, and of course with the dials here you can change what you're using the center screen for. The pedals in this car, interestingly, are very plasticky and don't give a good feel at all, don't give a solid clunk. So I think most people driving in a manual will probably use the lovely shifter here instead. And of course this car's got the awesome B&O audio upgrade, which gives you the little raising speakers. I'll show you them. The little tweeters that pop up out of the front windscreen there. But yeah, this stereo's certainly got some grunt to it as well. Into the center, this is last generation's Aircon system. Of course, with the new Audis, you get the display, the OLED display in the center of the dials here, and of course this model still has under here the SD cards and the spot for the SIM cards. But I've always loved the MMI Audi's multimedia system. It's easy enough to use and well laid out. And the seats themselves are lovely and comfortable, nice soft leather. The bolsters for your arse aren't that big. I guess they can accommodate larger butts that way, but the upper bolsters provide quite a bit of support. And of course, this being an RS7, you get that embossed there. But yes, it's a very nice interior. What are you thinking about the back seat there, William? And surprisingly, in the back, there's actually only seating for two, even though this is quite a large car. And round in the trunk, it's a very long but shallow trunk, but surprisingly roomy. I mean, this is just a big car. So that's my quick spin in the APR tuned RS7, quite the highway monster. Very impressive turn of speed, very easy car to drive fast. Anyway, thanks for watching everyone, as always. I'm hoping the next video will be a Carrera T. Woohoo! See you in the next video. Bye then.